yourself first. Think a hug is just a hug. Watch closely. This one hug could reveal what she really feels about you. One, have you ever wondered what a simple hug from a woman really means? Most men think it's just a friendly gesture, a polite way to show affection, but psychology tells a much deeper story. When a woman hugs you, her body language, timing, and the way she touches you all carry signals about attraction, trust, and emotional connection. A hug isn't just a physical act, it's a subtle form of communication that can reveal whether she feels safe with you, genuinely likes you, or is even testing your emotional awareness. Understanding these cues can completely change how you approach relationships and how you interpret the small everyday gestures that women make around you. 2. Timing is everything when it comes to a hug. If she initiates a hug right after a meaningful conversation, it's more than casual. It's her way of signaling emotional closeness. Psychologists call this the attachment cue, where the body naturally seeks comfort and connection after emotional sharing. A quick, almost perfunctory hug might mean politeness, but a lingering, warm hug that engages her arms, shoulders, and even forehead can indicate a higher level of trust and subtle romantic interest. Men often overlook these patterns, thinking they're minor details, but mastering this knowledge allows you to respond in ways that strengthen attraction and deepen intimacy over time. 3. The intensity and style of a hug also reveal a lot. When a woman hugs you and her hands gently rest on your upper back or shoulders, it shows she's not just comfortable but also intentionally connecting. Psychologists suggest that touch is one of the strongest nonverbal ways to communicate affection because it triggers oxytocin release in both parties. Oxytocin, known as the bonding hormone, literally makes you feel closer and more trusting of each other. So that casual hug you might dismiss, it could actually be her brain signaling without words, I like being near you and I want to feel closer. 4. Context matters too. A hug in private versus a hug in public communicates completely different things. Public hugs often involve social norms and politeness, while private hugs can give you a clear picture of genuine feelings. If she initiates a hug when it's just the two of you and holds it slightly longer than expected, psychology shows it's an unconscious way of testing emotional chemistry. Women do this naturally. They're assessing your responsiveness, warmth, and ability to mirror emotional cues. Understanding this allows you to react naturally, showing emotional intelligence, which in turn makes you more attractive and trustworthy in her eyes. 5. Facial expressions during a hug are another key detail most men miss. A genuine smile, relaxed eyes, and a slight tilt of the head indicate comfort and emotional openness. On the other hand, a stiff hug with tense shoulders may mean she's just being polite or unsure about her feelings. A hug is like a tiny window into a woman's emotional state. Read it carefully, and you'll not only understand her better but also learn how to adjust your approach to make her feel more secure and connected. This isn't manipulation, it's emotional literacy, a skill that can improve all aspects of your relationships from dating to long-term partnership. If this is making sense so far, hit like and subscribe now. Don't miss the secrets every man needs to know about women. Sex. Another thing men often miss is the subtle pressure or closeness during a hug. If she's pressing her body slightly against yours, it's usually a subconscious cue of comfort and attraction. Psychologists explain that humans naturally lean into people they feel emotionally drawn to. It's an instinctive way of testing closeness without saying a word. By noticing how she positions herself during a hug, you can gain valuable insight into her feelings and respond in a way that feels natural, reinforcing emotional connection and building mutual trust over time. 7. Scent plays an understand but powerful role in how a hug communicates. Women often unconsciously pick up on pheromones and natural scents when hugging, which affects attraction and emotional bonding. If a woman seems drawn into the hug or lingers longer, it might be her brain reacting to your natural chemistry. This isn't magic, it's science. Understanding that a hug can trigger both emotional and psychological responses helps you see every hug as an opportunity to strengthen attraction rather than a simple social gesture. 8. Pay attention to her arms and hands during a hug. Are they relaxed or tense? Are they resting on your back or loosely hanging by her sides? According to behavioral psychologists, where and how she places her hands indicates her comfort level and emotional intent. Hands on your back or shoulders suggest trust and connection, whereas keeping them at a distance may signal caution or politeness. By noticing these details, you can better interpret the meaning behind a hug and respond with your own body language that signals warmth and attentiveness. 9. The direction of a hug is surprisingly telling. A brief to second hug might indicate social etiquette or friendship, but a hug that lingers for 5 seconds or more usually shows emotional engagement and possible romantic interest. A research on nonverbal communication demonstrates that longer hugs increase oxytocin levels, creating feelings of safety, bonding, and attachment. This is why paying attention to hug lengths can help you understand how she feels about you and why responding naturally and confidently makes a big difference in building attraction. 10. Eye contact during and after a hug is another subtle but crucial signal. If she maintains a soft, relaxed eye contact as you part, it shows comfort, openness, and emotional interest. Psychologists emphasize that eye contact is one of the most reliable indicators of attention and connection. Men often underestimate this, thinking that only words matter, but in reality, how she looks at you before, during, and after a hug communicates volumes about her feelings and intentions. Learning to read these cues can elevate your emotional intelligence and make your relationships more fulfilling. Have you ever noticed subtle signals in a woman's hug? What did it reveal to you? 11. Hugging style varies between women and each style conveys a different message. Some women hug with a full body embrace, pressing chest to chest slightly, while others prefer a soft shoulder to shoulder touch. Psychologists note that full body hugs often indicate a stronger emotional investment and a subconscious desire for intimacy, even if it's subtle. By recognizing these patterns, you can distinguish between casual friendliness and genuine emotional extraction. Paying attention to these cues allows you to respond appropriately and nurture a deeper bond over time. 12. The context of the relationship matters just as much as the hug itself. A hug from a woman who sees you occasionally will differ significantly from a hug from someone you interact with regularly. In psychology, familiarity combined with positive reinforcement strengthens attachment and emotional connection. A hug in this case isn't just a greeting, it's a form of reinforcement that signals safety, trust, and comfort. Understanding the context helps you interpret her intentions accurately, avoiding misreading signals and improving your communication in everyday interactions. 13. Paying attention to micro movements during a hug can reveal hidden feelings. Does she lean slightly into you, tilt her head, or gently squeeze your shoulders? These subtle actions often go unnoticed, but they're powerful indicators of attraction. Behavioral psychologists highlight that tiny gestures like these are unconsciously produced and very difficult to fake. Recognizing them gives you an edge in understanding emotional states, which is crucial in building meaningful relationships. Avoiding misunderstandings and responding in ways that naturally deepen attraction. 14. Hugs are also a test of emotional boundaries and comfort. A woman hugging you isn't just assessing your emotional connection, she is testing how you handle closeness and vulnerability. If you respond with warmth, confidence, and attentiveness as signals that you're emotionally secure someone she can trust. On the other hand, appearing stiff, awkward, or disengaged can reduce her comfort level even if your intentions are good. Learning how to navigate these moments enhances your social intelligence and can significantly strengthen both romantic and platonic relationships. 15. The aftermath of a hug is equally important. How she smiles, how she steps back, and whether she engages in small talk afterward can all indicate her feelings and interest. Psychologists emphasize that emotional signals don't stop the moment physical contact ends. The way someone behaves immediately afterward reinforces or undermines the message sent during the hug. Paying attention to these subtle cues allows you to respond effectively, creating more meaningful interactions and building trust and interaction in your relationships. 16. Hugging can also reveal how emotionally available a woman is. If she hugs you openly without hesitation or tension, it indicates comfort, trust, and willingness to connect on a deeper level. Psychologists note that people unconsciously test emotional openness through physical gestures like hugs. By noticing her ease, you can gauge how receptive she is to deeper conversations and emotional intimacy. Responding with equal warmth and attentiveness not only strengthens the bond but also shows emotional intelligence, which is a key factor in attraction and long-term relationship success. 17. Sometimes a hug is a way to gauge your reaction. Women often use nonverbal cues to see how emotionally in tune someone is. If you hug back naturally, maintain a gentle posture, and avoid stiffness, sends a signal that you're confident and attentive. Behavioral studies show that mirroring subtle physical cues increases rapport and emotional closeness. This means a simple hug can be a test of chemistry, empathy, and emotional compatibility, giving you valuable insights into her feelings and intentions without a signal word being spoken. 18. Physical contact, like a hug, can also trigger powerful hormonal responses in both parties. When she hugs you and you respond appropriately, oxytocin, the body hormone, is released, fostering feelings of trust and connection. Psychologists explain that repeated positive physical interaction strengthens emotional attachment over time, so that hug she gave you isn't just a momentary gesture, it's part of a larger subconscious process of building closeness and affection. Recognizing this can help you approach every hug as an opportunity to nurture trust and deepen your connection. 19. The subtle way she moves during a hug also speaks volumes. If she lingers slightly, leans in, or lightly touches your arm, these are indicators of comfort and attraction. Behavioral psychology emphasizes that small subconscious movements often reveal more than words ever could. By observing these micro behaviors, you can gain a clearer understanding of her feelings and respond in a way that strengthens emotional connection. Over time, these small interactions accumulate, creating a stronger, more intimate bond that is hard to ignore. 20. Hugs can also reflect her personality and communication style. Some women are naturally expressive and use physical touch to convey warmth, while others are more reserved. Understanding her style can prevent misinterpretation and help you respond appropriately. Psychologists note that adjusting your reactions to match her level of comfort demonstrates emotional intelligence and social awareness. When you learn to read her hugging cues accurately, you not only understand her better but also create a safe space where she feels valued, heard, and connected. Do you think a hug can show attraction or it's just friendly? Share your experience. 21. Sometimes the way a woman initiates a hug can indicate her emotional state that day. A spontaneous hug might show she's feeling particularly affectionate, happy, or seeking comfort, while a hesitant hug could reflect stress, distraction, or uncertainty. Psychologists emphasize that paying attention to these nuances helps you respond in a way that strengthens the bond rather than creating awkwardness. By being mindful and present, you show emotional intelligence and empathy, which makes you more attractive and trustworthy in her eyes. 22. The psychology positioning of a hug can also communicate hidden intentions. Does she tilt her body toward you, or does she remain slightly sideways? A forward leaning close hug often signals interest and comfort, whereas a more sideways or distant hug may indicate politeness or caution. Experts in nonverbal communication explain that sudden body angles and movements during a hug are strong indicators of feelings and attraction. Understanding these cues allows you to navigate interactions smoothly, increasing connection and reducing the chances of misreading signals. 23. The way she engages her arms in a hug is surprisingly telling. Are they wrapped around fully, or are they just lightly resting on your shoulders? Psychologists note that full arm hugs indicate emotional investment, trust, and closeness, while light touches may be more casual or polite. Paying attention to these details gives you insight into her comfort level and potential interest. By responding with matching warmth and attentiveness, you create a feedback loop that fosters closeness, mutual trust, and emotional intimacy over time. 24. At the end of a hug is just as important as the beginning. How she releases the hug, the spin of her restaurant, and the expression on her face immediately afterward all communicate subtle messages about her feelings. Psychologists explain that these post-hug cues are often unconscious reflections of emotional state. By noticing whether she smiles, maintains a general eye contact, or lingers briefly, you gain valuable insight into her emotional engagement. Responding with awareness and warmth strengthens the relationship and reinforces feelings of safety and connection. 25. Touch, including hugs, is a fundamental part of human bonding. Psychologists emphasize that physical closeness releases hormones that promote trust, attachment, and emotional connection. When a woman hugs you, it's more than just a casual gesture. It's a moment where her brain is signaling emotional comfort and interest. Recognizing this allows you to approach every hug with mindfulness, using it as an opportunity to deepen intimacy, increase attraction, and show emotional intelligence. Over time, these small interactions build the foundation for stronger, more meaningful relationships. 26. The way a woman adjusts her posture during a hug can reveal her level of comfort and attraction. If she relaxes completely and leans slightly into you, it indicates trust, and emotional openness. Psychologists explain that this subtle body language is a subconscious signal of connection and one that can be more revealing than words. By observing these cues, you can respond naturally, showing attentiveness and warmth, which reinforces her comfort and helps deepen your bond over time. 27. A hug can also be a form of emotional calibration. Women often use a physical touch to gauge how emotionally attuned someone is to them. If you respond with empathy, confidence, and genuine engagement, it communicates that you are aware of her emotional state and responsive to it. Behavioral studies suggest that this type of mirroring strengthens rapport and attraction, making her feel more connected and understood. In other words, a hug is a silent conversation, and knowing how to speak it can dramatically improve your relationships. A lot of exciting content awaits you. Subscribe and join us. 28. Notice the pace and flow of a hug. Is it quick and casual or slow and lingering? Research in nonverbal communication shows that the tempo of a hug can reflect her feelings. A slow, deliberate hug indicates comfort, attachment, and possibly romantic interest, while a rushed or brief hug might simply be polite or situational. By paying attention to the speed and rhythm of a hug, you can better interpret her intentions and respond in a way that feels natural, enhancing both emotional connection and interaction. 29. Hugs are also a way to test boundaries. A woman hugging you might be subtly exploring how comfortable you are with intimacy and closeness. Psychologists highlight that the way you respond, whether with warmth, confidence, or assertiveness, can reinforce or reduce her sense of safety. Approaching this with mindfulness allows you to build trust and emotional security. Over time, these small, seemingly casual interactions form a framework for stronger, more intimate relationships that are both emotionally satisfying and mutually respectful. 30. Emotional context is key when interpreting a hug. A woman hugging you after a meaningful conversation or shared laughter is conveying more than just physical affection. It's an expression of connection, validation, and emotional resonance. Psychologists explain that these moments trigger bonding hormones like oxytocin, which enhance feelings of trust and closeness. By recognizing the emotional context, you can respond in ways that deepen attraction and strengthen your relationship, turning small gestures into powerful signals of emotional intimacy. 31. Hugs can be a reflection of emotional rhythm and chemistry between two people. When she hugs you, her timing, pressure, and subtle movements reveal how in sync you're emotionally. Psychologists know that couples or people with high attraction often unconsciously mirror each other's hug patterns, creating a sense of harmony and closeness. By paying attention to these cues, you can align your responses, increasing comfort, emotional resonance, and the likelihood that she feels drawn to you naturally over time. 32. Sometimes a hug is a way to silently communicate support and reassurance. If she senses stress, or tension in your life, a general hug can be her way of saying, I'm here for you. Psychologists emphasize that these small gestures are part of building trust and emotional safety. Recognizing the intention behind such hugs allows you to respond empathetically, strengthening the bond and demonstrating emotional intelligence. This approach not only enhances romantic relationships but can improve friendships and professional connections as well. Certainly, the way she ends the hug can also tell you a lot about her interest and comfort. Does she linger slightly before letting go, or does she step back immediately? Psychologists explain that lingering indicates emotional engagement and possible attraction, while a quick release might reflect formality or hesitation. By observing these details, you gain insight into her emotional state and can choose your response to match her level of comfort. This skill is crucial for maintaining rapport and deepening connection in all kinds of relationships. 34. Touch and nonverbal cues are often more honest than words. A woman's hug is a prime example. Her body communicates emotions she may not express verbally. Behavioral psychologists highlight that people often reveal true feelings through subtle gestures, which makes observing hugs a valuable tool in understanding emotional dynamics. By becoming aware of these signals, you can respond appropriately, create emotional alignment, and build trust, attraction, and intimacy more effectively than relying solely on conversation. 35. Ultimately, understanding what a hug really means is about emotional literacy. Each hug from a woman carries layers of signals: comfort, trust, attraction, support, and emotional openness. Psychologists stress that learning to read these signals and responding thoughtfully enhances all areas of your relationships. By noticing timing, pressure, posture, facial expressions, and context, you can turn every hug into an opportunity to strengthen bonds, foster emotional connection, and create meaningful, lasting relationships that benefit both your romantic and personal life. Thank you so much for watching fully. See you tomorrow. Take care.